Alright, so I want to talk about this three-fifths compromise thing. If you're familiar, it's an aspect of the U.S. Constitution that says blacks were not fully 100% of man. It was because the South was using slaves as constituents when they were not full citizens. Obviously, they were property. They were being counted in the census for other reasons. So, conservatives have been talking about this for a little while now, actually defending it. Let's talk about this. Americans are losing the culture war. You're losing the culture war. You know, and I don't like to talk about this stuff, but I did a video not too long ago talking about the fact that the culture war they've lost. You know, that now all it is cruelty, and we're gonna make it where you can discriminate against gay and transgender people, and you know, like that's the right. Marjorie Taylor Greene going out calling people transvestites. This is the Republican Party. This is all they've got now, and you know, I did a video talking about how there's aspects of the left that are a little hysterical. They do things that maybe aren't logical, maybe aren't reasonable, and you know, they do things that maybe they do things that maybe don't work to forward progressivism. They do things that hurt us long term, like, you know, doing crazy things about the Confederate flag and things like that. That's the hysteric left. It's all about just smoking weed and the visual aspects of racism, which I understand, but they're not on the top 5 list of what progressives should be focused on. So I did a video on that. It's only right I do a video on the hysterics of the right, of conservatives. You know, you had Seth King, the guy from Iowa, that talked about what's wrong with white supremacy. Openly said that. Openly said what's wrong with white supremacy. He lost his seat. You know, you've had them say other really racist shit in the past over the last couple of years, and you know, it's just what it is. For me, it's kind of funny. It's kind of sad because they're losing a culture war, and I'm not even sure they get it or they care. It's like a dude fighting a boxing match and he's already lost by points. And he keeps getting up and he's hurt and he's stumbling around. That's the right. And they're just it's all acting in bad faith, straw man politics, gay bashing, race baiting. That's all it is. Acting in bad faith, you know. What's the congressman that he brought up something that was on The Onion? That it was satirical in nature. The Onion has been around since I was a teenager. The Onion is a satirical thing online. They put up stuff that's fake news. It's just funny. And this congressman could have easily checked that. It's a congressman. And he takes that to the floor of where he worked. It's shocking to me. It was, but I realized that's what the right is. They've already created their notion of, I'm a white man, I'm a white male, I'm under threat, there's a threat, there's this suppression of white culture, they're coming for me, and they're looking for things to back up that argument. That's the GOP today. It's GOP today. And so, you know, for me, you know, I get it. I know what that is. It's not hard to understand what that is. It's what they are. But I've got to say, you know, if you're a Republican, is this the hill you crackers want to die on? Defending the three-fifths compromise? Like, why are we even talking about this? You know? And it goes back to what I've said before, and Hassan Abi said, other people have said, content creators have said, you can't unite with these people. You can't unite with them. You know, they've ran around 4 years or 5 years screaming about pedophiles. Ooh, everybody's a pedophile. Ooh. And then you have your boy get caught up. Gets caught up. Ain't heard nobody said nothing. Not a peep. Yeah, this is the Republican Party. You know, this is what they are. It's a party of acting in bad faith, strawman politics, like I said, gay bashing. And that's it. Now, I did a video earlier, I think I'm going to put it on here, where I talked about how you can't unite with people, with a segment of the population that is literally voting for cruelty. That a certain segment of the population is voting for strongman politics. It isn't about religious freedom. It isn't about taxes. It isn't about gun rights. It isn't about anything. It isn't about policy to help anybody or protect the health of the food, all that type of shit. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about a politics of cruelty. And it's about a politics of harm. And that's it. Like what the lady said, it's about Trump. She said he's not hurting. People should be hurting. There's a lot of people out here like that. They look at discrimination against gay people and say that's what should be done. You can't unite with those people. You can't unite with them. You know, and voting has consequences. These people vote for people who uphold their white supremacist ideas. These notions of white supremacy, these notions of discrimination, of necessary harm to others, and this idea that they're somehow being deprived of their privilege, being deprived of their America. That's what January the 6th was all about. And I think the Republican Party understands very well who they're preaching to. I think they understand very well. You know, I didn't do a video. Did I do a video on this? I don't think I did a video on this. But Kyle Kalinski's been talking about Liz Cheney, how she's going to lose a leadership position in the Senate, I believe, and other things that are going on. And she spoke out against Trump, spoke out against January the 6th. And Kyle Kalinski was like, you guys shouldn't be happy about it. You know, that's such a small thing. And he's right, but he's wrong. Listen, while I was in the shower, I didn't do a video. I was rushing this morning, so let's talk about it now. You know, when you're at war and somebody's a sniper, they're sniping at you on the opposing side. I'm talking about like insurgents, some group of ragtag people. If someone's a really bad sniper, you may choose not to kill them. You may choose to let them live because they're not really a threat to you. You understand? And it's the same thing with Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney acted with her conscience. And I heard a Republican, they asked him about what he thought about her, and she said, well, she wasn't voted in to do what's on her conscience, she voted in to do what we want. And that's the mindset of conservatives. I'm never going to hate a person who acts with their conscience. I'm never going to hate a person that acts with integrity. Because that's all I can ask from a person, is to act with integrity. I'm never going to ask someone to do what they believe is wrong. And that's all there is to it. That's literally all there is to that. If Liz Cheney is replaced, she'll probably be replaced with somebody much worse. You know that, right? Once again, I have no hope of getting this segment of fascists and reactionary bigots and homophobic people, and I have no interest in talking and negotiating with people. There's nothing to be done with them. But if one of these rednecks can acknowledge that Trump's politics towards the end, that it destabilized the country, that it made the country a dangerous place, and that his rhetoric led to January the 6th, then I can respect that. That's a small caveat. That's a small caveat. But that's how far right Republican Party has gone. They simply acknowledging Trump's responsibility in January the 6th insurrection. You know, that they can't even acknowledge that. Yeah, I gotta say, Liz Cheney, I gave her an attaboy for that. People can change. Look at LBJ. People can use their power for good. People can change and make good decisions for good to progress society. Do I think? And Michael Brooks talked about this in a video I watched a couple days ago. He talked about that, how, you know, you may have to unite with people that you don't agree on certain things. I think it was Bernie Sanders and Rand Paul that voted on the Syria thing, the cutting money to Syria. You know, this is not a perfect world, and unfortunately, America is really right wing right now. That's just what it is, and we've got to take our victories we can take them. You understand? I think that you can respect them. Because look, y'all look at this too. Liz Cheney's not stupid. And she knows she's going to pay for her conscientious objections against Donald Trump. She knows she's going to pay for this. And she knows that she's not going to just like, okay, it'll go away. Republican Party is still betrothed to Trump. Period. And that's just what it is. And the Republican Party, I think honestly Trump could go to, like, okay, Trump's facing like stuff in Georgia and stuff. I think even if Trump was to, you know, like do some time, like some little like misdemeanor time, I believe honestly, I believe Trump could probably, if it wasn't a felony, Republican Party would still run him. I believe that shit. Because remember that phone call with the Georgia, the governor, I think, or somebody? That was a crime. That was a crime. He should not have, and the phone call even sounds like some old mafia bullshit. Come on, man, I just need those votes. Come on, dude. You know, that sounded crooked. I was thinking about it the other day. Even if Trump did some time, they'd still run him. So whether we like it or whether we don't, we still got to acknowledge that what Liz Cheney did will cost her politically. You know, I talk about that often with y'all, that certain political opinions don't cost anything. You know, there are certain political opinions you can have that they don't cost you nothing. There's something that actually helps you. You know, like talking about racism and things like that. They're just acknowledging certain things are true. This is going to cost them. And I respect her as a human being, not as a Republican, not as a Democrat, but as a human being, as a person with integrity, and a person that knows what's right. I respect her. And I wish that
there's a stalled vehicle ahead.
I wish that we had more of that integrity. You know, like the JFK speech goes. I wish we had more integrity. I wish we had more people that were willing to step out there and do what's right and say what's right and face the consequences. How does it go? To speak the truth, though that make the heavens fall. That's it. You know, test of integrity is hard, folks. The test of integrity is hard, but the whole world is waiting for someone that's like me, just like you, to do what's right. and to act with integrity. And Liz Cheney did that. What Trump did goes beyond politics. What Trump did was destabilize the country. That's wrong, and it's dangerous. And it should never be allowed to happen again. I always go back to it. Another example of white privilege, because Obama had, what's that stuff he had, the Occupy movement? Obama could have used that. If you crackers want to be really nasty about it, you really want to be really fucking nasty about destabilizing the country, if Obama wanted to, he could have tipped his hat. He could have done everything Trump did to Occupy, and we could have ran on the Capitol back in the first term of Obama. But he didn't. Why? Because it's dangerous. And when you start doing what Trump did, you make the country unstable. That's politics. That's responsibility. That's what it means to be a statesman. And that's what it means to be legitimate. That's what it means to be a man. To be a grown-up, as they say. It's to do things that you know make this country stronger. To unite the country. Not to balkanize it, as Trump did. And Trump did that. Trump, he said, there's very fine people on both sides. Trump talked about how you had the fine people on both sides. Trump told the Proud Boys he communicated with them directly. That was wrong. All that stuff. Trump made the country unstable. I'll tell you something else too. Those shootings that you had, the shooting in Jersey, that black guy killed them Jews and all that, that bodega. Trump might have influenced that guy. I know the mosque shooter over there in New Zealand. He mentioned Trump and Candace Owens by name. Do you know how much that would have hurt me for someone to go out here and hurt somebody with my name? That's fucked up, man. And that's sad. I'd be hurt to think that somebody was inspired by my words to take human life. That's what Trump did. That's what Trump did. So, you know, I respect Liz Cheney for her stance, which isn't that radical. You know, it further shows you how radical America really is. That's what I always go back to. It's like saying Joe Biden is a communist or something. Joe Biden is a Republican. I mean, he's a Republican in every way. Joe Biden's a Republican. Anyone that doesn't understand that or know that is an idiot. You have to be fucking stupid. You have to be literally living in a Fox News bubble to believe for 1 second. People see me getting older. To believe for 1 second that Joe Biden is a communist, you've got to be there's a degree of mental instability in that to actually believe that. I mean, there really is. To believe that Joe Biden is a communist. The man that voted, the man that supported a war in Iraq, the man that supported mass incarceration, one of the architects of the drug war. Now, I need to explain to you the prison pipeline and how they make money off our black asses in prison. A lot of money. These guys are working for $1 a day, $3 a day to make ski coats that a woman in France is paying $3,000 for. And you're gonna fucking tell me that's not capitalism? Joe Biden's not a communist. Never was, never will be. Joe Biden is a Republican that's getting with the times. That's all he is. And Joe Biden is simply saying some things that we already knew were true. That's all he's doing. But in the absence of a true opposition party in America, that's what you get. You get the Republican Party, and then you get this centrist party that's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have 800 bases all over the world, and maybe we shouldn't be at war all the time. Oh, that's socialism. Yeah, that's what this is. I've gone on too long, but I wanted to make the point. Liz Cheney should be applauded, but she should only be applauded due to the fact we live in a warmongering empire, and we live in a right-wing imperialist state that's constantly at war, and we just got out from under a fascist who basically going to take the country back to the 40s. Due to that, I don't choose but to applaud her. Michael Brooks talked about this, and this is important. There are certain people that we may support that occasionally they may have opponents that have them dead to rights. And I say that in reverse. Occasionally, people that we don't agree with that may say the truth. They may say something right once in a while. I don't believe this is something that she said to garner votes or to reach across the aisle. I think she just said something that everybody knows to be true. Once in a while, Republicans say some truthful stuff too. It's not unheard of. And she's just like, hey, we need to stop this. I mean, Nikki Haley came out and said something about Trump too. Said something too. And then she, her two-faced, cracker ass turned around and said, oh no, I'd vote for Trump. Yeah. Then if he ran again, she wouldn't run. Yeah. To understand something, people have no integrity. I mean, you look back at Lindsey Graham and all the things he said before Trump ran about why do you guys like him. Yeah, go back and watch that video. Come on, man. It's not hard to understand this. These people have no integrity. None whatsoever. And their base doesn't want integrity. Their base wants cruelty, fascism, viciousness, hatred. They want harm. That the Republicans we're looking at in his base are effectively the Westboro Baptist Church. The people that hold the signs up at the funerals saying God hates fags. That's it. That's the base. You should have nothing to say to them. You're not going to reason with them. And you shouldn't try it. Thank you for listening.